another episode of World by Night. This is the Vampire Edition. Side session with Roderick and in a little bit Geo. Um, let's see. Last we left off, Roderick was doing more plotting and scheming.
Yeah, that about sums it up. Well, I think the first thing that I was loose end is I'll follow up with Charles Harrington, see if he's squared away.
Yes, he's ready to go. He's gotten everything done.
And I'm also going to reach out to some of the other Assamites, see what tools they might have for what their typical training procedures are. If any of them are for new Assamites.
Well, it all depends. I mean, normally they'll tell you normally they train them as a normally they train them as a warrior first, and then let whoever it is decide whether or not they want to specialize in the sorcerer. They think, or during training, if the one who's doing the training feels that they make a better sorcerer, then they'll do that, and then they'll kind of mix the two.
Alright, fair enough. So I will have him. I'll have him come to my house, my primary haven.
Okay.
And I'm going to be fairly direct. I'll explain the process, how it's done, to how you go about embracing someone. And then we'll actually do it. But the goal is to try and make a smooth transition for him.
Okay.
So he can start building his skills right away.
Gotcha.
So he comes out of the gate a little more educated as opposed to a lot of fledglings who have no damn idea.
Well, a lot of the clans when they sire somebody, the sire will stick around for a while at least to teach them to
right.
Get going, and then the rest is and then they basically throw him to the wolves and be like, "Go ahead."
Yeah, I want to make sure he knows exactly what he's getting into right from the get-go, so he's squared up.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gave him a lot of stuff to read and explained everything to him. So
I'll be involved, but I also have other things on my plate. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He goes to your house and meets you.
So I'll show him the safe room I've got in the basement. I recognize these guys own, but for the first couple nights while he's still getting used to life as a vampire, I'll have him stay here. So I'll show him how to get into all my security and stuff.
Okay.
And
yeah, they tend to be a little hungry those first couple of nights.
Yeah. Well,
because you got to teach him how to feed properly.
Right. Make sure he knows how to hunt and how to feed properly and that sort of thing. So, but then I'll have him, and I have a couple of bunks down there. I mean, they're not the most comfortable, but they don't really need to be either. So, and then I will actually embrace him.
Okay.
Which shouldn't be too complicated since he's prepared for it.
Yeah. I mean, it still is a little bit of a shock, even for the people who are prepared for it. It's
right.
Yeah. A different world once you become embraced.
So, I assume that he won't awaken a vampire until the following evening. I don't know.
Yeah, it takes a little while for the body to, in a sense.
Yeah.
Well,
rebuild.
Readjust to the new setting. I mean, I think technically they are a vampire pretty much at the exact same time.
Yeah, I just assume they're
make it a little more interesting.
hardcore to begin with. I've always ran that they change immediately, but they're in torpor until the following evening.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then, well, from there, with him dealt with, I can follow up. I'll see if using my one of my lines for the Inquisitor, I'll see if Sammy has heard back anything from this Victor.
Victor says he doesn't know you, and he will refuse to meet.
That's what I suspected, but
Yeah, he doesn't know you. He's never heard anything about you. You know, if you're willing to give him a real name, he'll look into it, and then if that name clears, he'll meet you. But until then,
right.
You know, he doesn't want anything to do with you.
Oh, it's a bit of healthy paranoia.
Victor obviously isn't stupid. Extremely paranoid.
True. Well, I'm actually going to. I'll send Sammy a message to forward to Victor, because I assume we haven't had direct contact.
He won't give you any contact information for Victor.
Right. I am going to give him my pen name, which does have bank accounts and stuff, and some of my addresses in its name.
Okay.
Technically nothing to tie it to vampires of any clan, but it's at least something that he can work from.
Okay. And Tim says he forwarded the message, and it'll probably be a few days as Victor checks all the backgrounds and everything.
And I will give. I'll tell him he can have Victor contact me at this number and send him a number for a phone that's registered in my pen name.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
If he needs further information that way, and he wants to contact me directly that way. And, well, that should keep Victor busy until he decides if he wants to bite or not. I assume my next Shabbat meeting should be coming up here.
Yeah, whenever you schedule it.
Yeah, well, I had scheduled it just for next couple days. I didn't really clearly declare a day, so.
Yeah.
And that one, I am going to have some, encourage them to bring new recruits. That this scourge hit us pretty hard at our last recruitment meeting before I even was able to arrive. So, try and get some additional recruits there. And while I wait for the meeting, I'm going to check. I had sent a tracking message to Monica to try and get her.
The tracking information came back. It's bouncing off of one satellite after another. Either she's traveling a lot, or she's got some kind of way to defeat the tracker.
Okay. Well, I may have to make a little more concerted effort then. If in fact I want to track her down. I she didn't say where she was going, just that she was leaving.
No, she didn't tell anybody. Yeah, she didn't tell anybody where she was going. She just said she was, she had to leave. She had to go out of town for a personal matter.
Well, I will, I'm actually we'll send Monica a message from one of my Inquisitor lines.
Hmm?
I'm gonna have the Inquisitor send Monica a message.
Okay.
Say you felt the need to flee just as we were setting some foundations, and here I was preparing an agreement. This city could have been ours together. Instead, you left a mess.
And she responded with, I don't work with Sabat. It's the only response you get from them.
Yeah, well, I'll respond and say, no, I don't suppose a Ventru, and I'll put that in quotations, would work with the spot very willingly. And
Yeah,
I'll follow up and say, but your wonderful Ashton can't protect you now that you've left.
no response.
I didn't expect to.
She's not going to be goaded that easily.
I'll put out with my mortal conspiracy groups and stuff, I'll put out, basically keep an eye out for her, and if anyone cites her, make sure we report it. She's suspected to be some sort of agent involved in a series of attacks and kidnappings and stuff, but that she's being protected. So we need to police ourselves. So I'll see if maybe some mortals dig something up on her.
Okay.
There's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Quite a few.
And then I'll head to my Shabbat meeting.
Okay. Well, there's a few members. It seems like there's a lot less than the last actual meeting you had.
Well, I imagine I lost some of them.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple of new faces, but still a lot smaller than the last one.
And I'll tell them that we need to, we can't tolerate this. That, bad enough we have to deal with these fools in the Camarilla, but now they're recruiting outsiders to their, they've recruited these assmites and actually use them, not just for show, but they're actually unleashing them upon us, and it's time for us to begin preparing to strike back. And that they need to stay in contact. That I'll notify them when we have some prime targets. That we're gonna, if they want to hit us when we're in a group, that we'll pick them off first, and remind them that it's not that simple. So basically, I want to get them fired up again and prepare.
They're kind of half fired up. I mean, taking those losses kind of affected them a bit.
Um, I'm going to Are there any that seem reluctant to be there?
No. I mean, there's a lot that are quiet, but, almost every meeting you had quite a few that
Yeah,
were quiet.
but they at least seem like they all want to join. Huh?
Yeah, no one seems, reluctant to be there.
I'm going to brandish my holy symbol of Cain, and I'll kind of use it to somewhat drive them back.
Okay.
And I'm gonna not too forcefully, not looking to drive them out, but
Yeah.
just to remind them that we are the sword of Cain, and that his will and might stand behind us, and that we have to have faith, and that's where faith in Cain, faith in ourselves, and that we can't fear the elders and their puppets and the Camarilla and their games. So kind of try and stir up a little bit of zeal,
Okay.
a little demonstration of power. And because it's technically true faith, it should really get some attention.
Yeah.
So
That seems to help a little bit. Seems to get them a little more fired up.
and I will then, well, obviously give them a little bit more of give them the stump speech from the Book of Nod and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, is Sammy there?
Yes.
Uh, I will, we'll perform the Valdiri, but then I'll ask Sammy specifically if he has any inclination to learn more about the sire of us all. Basically, see if I try and convert him to Path of Cain.
Yeah, what the hell he wants to.
I'll give him a copy of the Book of Nod. Obviously, it's not like an original one. It's a new age. Hell, it's probably a PDF on a thumb drive.
So nowadays, yeah.
But give him that and tell him to, study it, and we can go from there.
Okay.
That first you have to understand the texts and the meaning behind them, and then you can understand the path, and from there you can truly unleash your faith upon those around you. So I think that'll wrap it up for now with them. As long as I kind of whip them up a little bit, showed them that I'm kind of sharing power a little bit too. I want to encourage them to be proactive and stuff, and get involved in that. That's where power comes from. That's the whole angle, is that we work together.
Mm-hmm.
So
Alright, you finish up the meeting. Nothing goes on. Oh, it said it should be on their phones.
I do have, I guess, one other thing that I wanted to have Roderick do is track down a storm spirit. So I guess I could start digging around town. I guess I'd look for something maybe a little more exposed, Not that there's a whole lot of greenery, but a little bit outside of town. Look where it's forested, or if there's been any recorded lightning strikes, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And it's for a specific fetish that he's going to look to create. He needs a storm spirit and or a fire spirit.
Okay.
So I guess maybe I'll start checking through newspapers and stuff too. You know, see if there's been any recorded lightning strikes or any of that.
During any storm, there's always a couple of recorded lightning strikes.
So try and find an area that's maybe prevalent and head that direction.
Okay. On Holly.
Yeah, I don't know how you want to handle the forcing of a storm spirit into a fetish, if that's going to be a conflict or if you just want to do.
We'll say you do it.
Okay.
I'm sure, you can do the rolls and stuff, but honestly, I just don't care. We'll just assume, you're able to get one in. You're not happy about it, but you're able to get one in.
Yeah, we're never happy about it. I'm a freaking vampire.
They're barely tolerated with Guru.
I say I'm not negotiating either. At least Guru negotiate. I'm forcing them and binding them. So that tends to go over a little less pleasantly.
Oh, yeah. Not making nice with spirits.
Well, sometimes you have to be less concerned with nice.
I messaged Charlie, so I'm just waiting for it to.
Yep.
Sorry, jump in.
Had an image. Somewhere for what I'm creating here, but where in the hell it went, God only knows. I'm sure I'll find it in at some point, and I'll be like, oh, that's where that went.
She says, hold up.
Yeah.
Get to bed.
That's why I don't have kids. I don't have the patience for them. Alright, what do
Yes, Holly, Roderick is ready for you. And she goes, that just sounds dirty.
Yeah, leave it to Holly. So that's basically what he created. It's basically a lightsaber, fueled by spirits.
Interesting.
A little more organic and stuff, because it's the hilt, if you will, is the vessel for the spirits. Because it never hurts to have a blade of flame and lightning.
That's true.
Especially the vampires, they like that.
Yeah, for anybody who may watch this video, sorry for the lots of dead air, but kind of waiting for me.
It's actually going to ask if you can pause the stream temporarily.
No, unfortunately, it's either
on or off.
Yeah. There's no pause feature. They haven't gotten to that part yet, apparently.
Well, since I'm not doing anything else and I've got a bunch of free time, I will, you know what, I'm going to start building my own cybernetics, or larger scope, since I've kind of seen how it's done. And, furthermore, I, got some nifty tools to make it a lot easier to modify my physical form, courtesy of an FBI agent. So I'm going to start at least playing around with it, researching it, that sort of thing.
Okay.
I don't have anything specific in mind, just start dabbling.
Still. Just hit your be right there. So there's going to be a few minutes of dead air on this video. That's fine.
Well, that's what happens when you schedule with a Milky.
Yeah, she definitely fits the role most of the time. I honestly think she needs to get the Malkavian tattoo as well, since she got the Ragabash one. Might as well get the Malkavian to go with it.
I fucking heard that!
I would hope so. Let's be honest. It does make sense for you.
I'll stick with my Ragabash tattoo thing. Because it's actually legit. I really am born under a new moon.
Yeah, well, Malkavian fits you too.
Thank you! Alright. Well, shitballs. Ouch. Oh my god, okay. Oh, he just got out of bed again.
We can wait.
Oh my god. The joys of 5-year-olds.
Kanye, it's stone chewable value and works every time.
Well, alright. I don't hear John.
I'm here.
He's here.
Oh. Oh, he was awfully quiet.
Yeah. Well, Roderick already accomplished pretty much everything else he had for the night.
Okay.
It's just the chat with Geo that we were waiting.
Oh, just the general curiosity chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she'll send you a text message saying, "Hey, you got a minute?"
Well, since I wasn't doing anything else, I'll go over to visit. Or ask where she wants to meet, I should say.
Let's see.
A couple of interesting clubs in the area.
Oh, there are.
New one.
There's one just outside DC too, but that seems to have a different crowd.
Oh, yeah? Interesting. What kind of crowd?
Yeah, well, it seems to be like kind of a steampunk techno vibe.
Okay.
A lot of unsavory characters.
A lot of unsavory characters. Well, no. She'll just insert random address here. It's one of the addresses.
Okay. Random address X.
And I'm gonna go to that location.
Okay.
I'll meet her there. It's probably on one of my indexes too. There's a 50-50 chance.
Probably. Well, I was actually meaning to talk to you about a curiosity I brought up quite some time ago, but never got to follow up on due to all the shit hitting the fan.
Yeah, it does seem that the city's falling apart at the seams.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say that again. So that book you were reading from, Roderick, how did you get your hands on that? That's an interesting one to just carry around.
That's true, but it's well, number one, I've got a history of literary interest, and number two, as a Assamite sorcerer, we tend to be a little more open-minded about where we garner our mystic information. So we acknowledge that as a source of power just as much as any other one, whether it's true mystic power or simply perceived.
Information in general is power.
Well, then again, if it's just like any religion, it's a powerful magic, whether it's real or not, if enough people believe it. So,
or just the right people believe it. That's all there is.
Or the right people. No, I'm aware of what it is. It's not like I haven't read it myself for curiosity. I was just found it. Just wasn't expecting it. That's all.
Well, it's in the course of some of the methods and techniques that my clan uses as well. It's sometimes difficult to maintain the traditional moral scale, and so it's also a source for a different code of conduct that allows us to carry out our contracts with less internal conflict.
Oh, I see. Uh,
I have nothing against the accepted norm of following human moralities, but when you're a clan of contracted killers who kill your own kind, that can cause some internal strain, and we find it's easier for some of us if we instead enlighten ourselves in other ways.
she nods. Okay. Shit. God damn it! I had a key question and I was gonna ask it too. Motherfucker.
Well, Roderick's going to ask you for some information. Just let's get himself caught up. He was kind of out of loop the last couple weeks taking care of some things.
Well, you were gone. I was gone for a few days myself. I mean, good God. Let's see.
I know Monica's left, so
she did leave, though nobody knows why.
no, it's nice of her to tell the rest of us who are trying to keep the city running.
True.
A little heads up would have made my job easier.
I think it would have made things easier for everybody, but you know, can't expect everything.
Right. Apparently not. So that would be too easy.
Oh no. I wonder what motive would she have to leave, all things considered.
Maybe she knew she was losing her grip on her position, so she felt it more prudent to leave rather than have it stripped from her.
Maybe. Though Monica's never really been the sit around and take it type.
She was doing a lot of sitting around and taking it. While the city fell apart, there wasn't a whole lot of proactive maneuvering then.
That's why I think this is all very strange. It's all out of character for her.
Well, whatever the circumstances, we know of a city without a prince that has some Sabbat leader running rampant. I mean, you saw the size of the recruitment gathering they had the other night, and that was, from what I can discern, not even all of them. This leader never even made an appearance. That concerns me further because that is far outside the typical MO of a Sabbat leader, unless they're significantly high up, in which case we have a whole separate set of issues.
No, I mean, maybe they did show and we just don't know it. It's not entirely impossible.
That's true. However, we had heard reports that he was a bit more theatrical when he did make an appearance. And in fact, since then, I was able to obtain video. I had all of my clanmates using surveillance on themselves while they were out scouting. And one of those surveillance cameras caught this Inquisitor as he quite effectively eliminated an Assamite warrior.
Oh,
So I have, in
well,
which leads us back to this city without a prince and lack of organization. You know, something needs to be done.
and some asshole who is running around killing people who are generally extremely difficult to kill, apparently.
Yeah, and on top of that, of course, we've had this wonderful rash of kidnappings, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, there's been information in on that, at least. They think they have a location. My people do.
Well, that could,
But
at least if we brought a resolution to that, that would let us turn our resources to this Inquisitor, as he styled himself.
that's going to be a big one. With this city not having a prince, it's kind of funny that move hasn't been made yet.
Well, my other concern with this is that this Inquisitor had on him, although not blatantly visible, but somewhat visible, a fairly ornate dagger. And the reason I recognize this is it was a dagger I made and gave to Monica for her own defense when we had these kidnappings.
Interesting.
One of my personal designs. The last time I saw it was when I handed it to Monica, and now it's at the belt of this Inquisitor. So, leads me to question whether did she truly leave? If she did so, was she involved with this Inquisitor beforehand? And she passed it on to further equip him? Or to try to... Is it a smoke and mirrors that she passed it on to someone to keep us off of her trail? Or...
But if she knew you gave it to her, then she would know that you're obviously not stupid.
Well, I suspect that perhaps whoever was using it the other night may have been careless. It was tucked somewhat out of sight, but in combat with an Assamite warrior, there's no true thing is out of sight. So, you know, they had it tucked away, but I was able to see enough of it to identify it. Certainly, it's not like they were openly using it. Or was it a play by Monica trying to discredit me, if it came up? I mean, it's a distinctive design. I have certainly those who have seen my other works might recognize it as my style.
Well, maybe if you find the Inquisitor, I guess you find the dagger.
Yeah, well, it's the next step is find out who he or she is and if they have a connection to Monica or how they got it.
Right.
Or is he, you know, the other possibility is this Inquisitor in a close enough position that they could take it. Maybe they stole it to try and discredit Monica or myself. Or duplicated it, but...
Well, like I said, some of these things are out of character for Monica. I've known Monica for a good amount of time. It's all out of character. So maybe it is somebody else.
Well, whatever the case is, it's
I haven't even had any luck contacting Monica, so...
I did get a message that she was handling some personal business, but that she didn't feel she would be returning, and that's all I got from her. So I haven't even had success tracking her down through any of our other techniques.
Well, whatever it is, it must be serious, because I don't think she just dropped this position for no good reason. But there are many people have many motives. It's hard to say for certain, anyways.
Yeah, well, it's all politics, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It'd be so much simpler if people simply just pulled out a knife when they had a conflict and resolved it.
It's one way of handling things.
Well,
Definitely.
or hire someone with a knife to resolve it and be done with it.
Yeah, see, if they were smart, they'd just hire somebody.
Right, well. Unfortunately, I can't hire somebody. I'm the guy they hire.
Right.
So now I'm trying to resolve it, and...
Well, is there anything I can do?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think the big thing is we need to get, you said you have some information on this other group, so if we can resolve that, that'll help.
Right. I'll keep trying to proceed, but like I said, they're not telling me locations until they're certain.
Yeah, well, that's good, and we don't need to be chasing false leads and tipping our hand either.
Exactly.
So, hopefully we can resolve that shortly. I know Duke has expressed wanting to have a council meeting to fill that vacancy as Prince.
And let's face it, it's something that needs to be done quickly.
It does, but
before somebody we don't want comes in and tries to take shit over.
Install themselves.
Yep.
Well, unfortunately, the list of qualified candidates is fairly short, especially those who have an interest.
Well, I haven't heard anything about that, so.
Well, I know you have expressed in the past that it's not something you want to pursue. I'm sure Raz would rather not. He's probably one of the most informed people in this city.
Probably is the most informed person
well,
in the city.
Yeah. I mean, you and I both have other sources, so we might be close, but...
Right.
Let's face it, that eliminates a lot of options. The Venture are in some state of disarray. The last thing this city needs is a Bruja Primogen. Duke said he doesn't want it, so that leaves us with the White Candle and the Tremere as primary candidates, or the Toreador. I don't see any of them as being either we need a balance between someone who's informed and politically proactive, as well as someone who is willing to be a bit more militant when need be. And I don't see that with them.
No, I don't either.
I had discussed a bit with some of my people the possibility of pursuing it myself.
Right.
I haven't decided yet, but I know.
What did they have to say about that?
Well, I mean, there's ways to go about it. Perhaps some extra paperwork to keep it all on the level that no one has, that it doesn't create other issues, but it could be done. And I know it's something that I'm reasonably certain I would have at least Duke and Raz support that venture.
Well, I do. It still is also really odd that the Ventrue, despite being in the disarray that they're in, haven't tried to jump on it either. Trying to keep it for the Camarilla or even the Tremere. Really.
Well, let's look at where the Tremere stand too. They've kind of been thrust to the side a bit in DC. So it's possible they don't feel they have the support could do it themselves. Yeah, the Ventru are kind of up in the air, but what else can they do? They
Right.
they don't have a candidate at this point. They
Should be
and I'm sure
interesting.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who are going to look at it and go, well, we had Monica there, and she was Ventru. I mean,
Yeah.
at least as far as everyone's concerned, and so they're going to say, well, look at all the issues we had under the last Ventru. Do we really want to chance that again? So.
It's very true.
So it's a fair possibility that when Duke calls this meeting, I may step in simply because there's limited options, and there are better ways for my clan to operate. If we get the other issues resolved, we can operate far more effectively in a stable city.
That's very true.
I mean, I'm already down one clanmate missing, and now I've had one taken out by this Inquisitor, and it's...
Yeah, and they're both... Oh, Kristoff.
Look, number one, the way my clan operates, they're going to start looking at that and going, well, is this even worth our having a presence in if we're taking those kind of losses? So I can see the profitability of remaining here, but I need to negate some of that loss margin.
Right. So getting those missing people back would probably help.
Certainly can't hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure...
As soon as I find out the locations, I mean, I can't do much without that.
Well, I'm sure as soon as Duke calls this meeting, we'll have a different discussion there, too. So... But I'm sure I'll see you then, if I don't see you beforehand. Unless you had anything else you'd like to discuss.
No, I was just generally curious about what your interest was in that book, was all.
Well,
like I said, I've read it myself, so
yeah.
I know that knowing things can be handy.
Yeah, and again, it's a text that even just reading it, knowing it's beneficial. For some of my clan, we found it beneficial to apply it in different ways. So.
Gotcha. No. Well, hell, yeah. So,
if it's something you ever want to discuss further, I'd be happy to kind of show you our path along that learning.
Oh, well, I'll think on that one. Right now, I'm good though. I suppose when this meeting happens, I'll talk to you then. If not sooner, if I come up with something sooner anyway, I'll get at you.
He'll kind of adjust. He's actually got the symbol of Cain hanging around his neck too. Cain's Ankh, so he'll kind of adjust that slightly while you're talking. Make it a little more apparent it's there. So.
Good night, Roderick.
You have yourselves an enjoyable evening. I'm sure you can manage to find a party somewhere.
I make my own parties.
That I can believe. As do I, although I suspect they're far different.
I'm sure they are. I'll talk to you later, Roderick.
Sounds good.
Bye.
I'll head off to my haven.
All right. I'm staying in my this space for a while.
Okay.
Make sure Roderick's actually gone.
Oh, I'm sure. No. Not really.
No, she randomly jumps house from house.
I do.
Oh, healthy level of paranoia.
Yes.
Paranoid as fuck. Are you kidding me?
Alright, maybe an unhealthy level.
You probably noted some security here with her too.
Yeah, she always has security around. That's not her paranoia. Alright.
I didn't have anything else. That was
Yeah,
it.
if you guys don't have anything else, at least for this side session, then thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned.